Hello, good morning. I think we're streaming live. Yep, I can see us there. Okay, hello everyone. Bear with me one sec. Work out all of the tech things. It's always a bit of a juggle. Good morning, good morning, good morning. We're here for day 2 of the Creatrix Vortex. It's a pleasure to be here with you. I can see there's a couple of people live. Welcome. We'd love to see you, know who you are. Pop in and say hi so we can see. We realized before that actually we jumped into our session yesterday without doing any kind of official introductions. Which potentially you might know one of us but not the other. You might know both of us. You might not know either of us. So let's not be rude about that. Anik, do you want to do a brief introduction so people are familiar with you?
Sure. Thanks, Tash. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, lovely. I'm Anik Petri. So your ears are probably hearing a little accent. So to get it out of the way, I'll tell you, I've been living in Australia for 22 years now, in New South Wales, Australia, by the ocean. But I'm originally from Quebec, Montreal, Canada, and I kept my accent as my marketing, my trademark, my uniqueness. So I am an intuitive mentor. I am an international best-selling author, a TEDx speaker, and a voice healer. And I've been, for the last over 15 years, I've been helping lots of thousands of people. And I help particularly empath, hypersensitive conscious leaders to harmonize your nervous system so that you can be well paid to have a lot of fun and share your soul's work with more ease and more joy in the flow. So that's my juju. That's what I'm passionate about, making a difference in a way that is totally aligned with my heart, with my soul, and holding space for beautiful creatrix like yourself. And I'm so delighted to co-create with Tash today this topic on intuition, which is up my alley. I love that.
It totally is.
Yeah. What about you, Tash?
Yeah, thank you. So yes, my name is Tash. I'm a USA Today bestselling author and the CEO and founder of Ashman Publishing. So I run it's not a little, I shouldn't say that. I run a beautiful indie publishing house that the intention of my publishing house is to support the voices and the stories to be heard of the conscious leaders and the warriors of light that are out there really facilitating epic change and transformation upon the planet. I'm also a business strategist and a kinesiologist. I do a bunch of different things, different modalities, but my ultimate aim is to support my clients to expand their business in a way that feels like it's calling in more magic. And the reason why, I just want to presence this, the reason why we've decided to really activate this space, Creatrix energy. Anik is an intuitive mentor. This is her magic. She's so amazing at supporting you to connect to your heart, to open your heart so that you can call in more intuitive guidance. And my jam is all about creativity and writing and speaking and messaging inside of business, like really tapping into your next level heartfelt message so that you can share your voice in a way that gets heard by the right people. And it was such a beautiful blend. Like we sat down, we thought, where do we weave together? And this was the space that we really found was, in this space here of Creatrix energy, which is the meeting place between intuition, self-leadership, as we spoke about yesterday, intuition and creativity. So today we're talking all about intuition. And so Anik, this is your magic. This is this is so much a part of your soul's contract. I would love to give you the floor to open us off.
Oh, bless you. Thank you, Tash. I just want to acknowledge Erin Barry Cotter. Hi, Erin, because she's here commenting here with us. I want to acknowledge you, Erin, before I step in, because you took us on board with the contest to win a free session with Tash or with myself.
Oh,
Because I
beautiful.
said tag your soul sisters if you feel there it's an alignment to join this group, the Creatrix Vortex, and she tagged a lot of her friends. So Erin, well done. I wanted to acknowledge you and thank you for inviting. Very lovely. So yes, intuition is I love intuition. Intuition is one of our superpower, right? As Creatrix is because we operate so much from our head and we forget that the most important, most valuable gift that we have is our inner knowing, our inner wisdom. And I want to share with you an archetype, if I may, today that I call her your ancient mama. She's a big part of the Creatrix energy, the higher self. I mean, you can give her the name that you want, but the ancient mama is like the wise old lady who's been living inside of you, inside your body, your bones, your blood, like on a shamanic perspective, like she's really being even living in with your ancestors, your mothers, your grandmothers, your great-grandmothers. And she you know, she's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years old. She lives in your bones. She stirred the soup. She stirred the pot, the magic potion. She might have long white hair. She's you know, all wrinkly with a big booming heart. And she knows what's best for you in every moment. She knows what's good for your physical body, the food, the drink that your body needs, the vitamins, she knows what's good for your brain, for your nervous system, to relax you. She knows what's good, the next step in your business, the next step of expansion for you, where you're at, where you're ready, what you're ready for. She knows the best relationships to call into your life. She knows it all. She's a wise old lady. And so when tuning into your intuition, you can call her in. You can really engage conversation, communication with her and ask her for guidance. Ask her for inner, you know, inner guidance, inner wisdom. Tune into her. And so, you know, giving her a visual, you can give her a name. I mean, this is a little exercise, a little activity that I put up on my Insight Timer. I'm a teacher on Insight Timer. But you can really tune into the ancient mama wisdom on a daily basis by, if you're a visual person, you imagine what she looks like. You give her a name, you know, your ancient mama. Tash, would you have a name for your ancient mama? Is there anything
Putting me on the spot. The name. I've done a similar. I have a similar archetype that I work with.
Yeah.
That is, she feels very similar, and I don't actually have a name for her, but I can feel her very powerfully.
Yeah.
You know, and she's like quite elven in the way that she appears.
Right.
And she's like, yeah. So I don't necessarily have a name, but I have I have a connection with
you do.
this archetype. Yeah.
You know what she feels like, what she looks like.
Yeah.
And tuning into, you know, it leads me to tuning into your five senses, because it's all about relationships, right? We're tuning in, we're in constant conversation, whether we're in our ego or mind, but we're in constant conversation with life. So this ancient mama, to tune into your heart, to connect with her love, with her care, tuning into your senses, like, what does she look like? Like, what if she was coming and giving me a hug? I have a client in France, Sabrina. She's beautiful. She's launching an amazing program. We worked together for 6 months, and she's continuing to work with me this year, which is amazing. And she her ancient mama, she every session she brings her in, and she said, oh, she comes and she gives me a big hug. She comes behind me and she brushes my hair. And there's a lot of sensuality. So intuition is sensual. Intuition is connected to your touch, connected to your gaze, what you're seeing, the beauty of nature, the beauty of the colors you're seeing. It's connected to sounds, the sounds you're hearing, because it's going to come in a message. Your ancient mama will guide you and will show you some messages that you might feel in your body if you're clairsentient. That you might hear in your ears if you through a song, or through a conversation with a friend or a colleague. And you might be clairaudient, or you might actually see, might be a clairvoyant, like visually see a sign, driving behind a bus or something like that. I'm connected to a coach in the US at the moment, and I saw her name driving. It was really unusual. So it works with little synchronicities like that. But really tuning into that meditation of communicating with your ancient mama is super powerful and very supportive in helping you tuning into your own inner wisdom, your own intuition.
So powerful. I can get a real sense of this power, right? And this ancient mama. Like I just remembered. So for me, I call it my inner mentor, my ancient mentor. But it's the same thing, right?
Same thing.
Yeah, exactly the same thing. And I love what you shared there, Anik, about how intuition encompasses all of the senses. And I want to share a little story because for a long time, ever since I can remember, I've not been able to visualize. I have this thing that they call antiphasia, right? And that translates to mind blindness. And when I first discovered it, I was like, oh my God, this makes so much sense, right? Why guided visualizations are really difficult for me. I can lead guided and guide others through guided visualizations, but like for myself, I find them really frustrating because when I close my eyes and try and visualize, it's black. It's just black. And so for a long time, I had this belief my third eye is broken. and that it was a problem. It was this fear of missing out. It was like everyone that I know who's intuitive can go on astral traveling adventures and connect in with their star family, and it's all visual for them. And it was actually only yesterday that I had this really powerful drop in. I've always known for me that my body is the receiver of intuitive guidance for everyone. But for myself, it is like so much more so because of the fact that my inner sight, I suppose, is not as activated, right? So I've had to really learn how to tune into my felt sense. And for me, like the big drop in that I had yesterday was when I work with my body, when I move my body, when I exercise, when I dance, when I do yoga, when I make love, like when I'm in my body, that is my opening of my channel. It's because it gets me out of my head, right? And back into the space of my heart. And if I'm just sitting there meditating or doing a guided visualization, it's not how I receive intuitive guidance. It doesn't come in that particular way. And so I really, I've had this drop in before, but it was just so present for me yesterday. Like sometimes I will, we often don't do the things we know we need to do, right? Like my yoga practice, it fluctuates. Sometimes I go out and I do yoga multiple times a week, and other times I won't. And so I had just such a powerful realization that actually I must prioritize this, because this is my channel. This is my intuitive receptibility when I work with my body. So I wanted to share that because not everyone has the same kind of, intuitive gifts. And sometimes we might think, well, if I don't have that particular one, then I'm not as good as that person, but it's about really tuning into what is your strength, right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, yeah. Beautifully shared. Thanks for that, Tash. I'm going to be able to cough. Sorry.
No worries.
The voice
Now, you,
thing.
of course, as the curator of the spiral dance, you, I'm sure, would be, very well versed in this space of like moving the body, dancing to receive, to expand your consciousness and to receive guidance.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, well, yeah, I forgot to say in the introduction that I actually created a modality called voice tapping. So so it's really tapping into the body, the moving the energy in the body and using the voice as releasing the energy from the voice. So, and spiral dance was my prior business, but it's coming back to life as Tash and I are going to offer an incredible retreat, Unleash Your Sacred Creatrix, this year in person, which we're really thrilled about. And so, yeah, the movement, I mean, intuition is happening in the flow, in the now. It's not something that actually is, you pre-plan. Is happening in your flow. And to be in your flow, it's really important to actually to connect with self. And a way that I found really powerful, like you were sharing, Tash, about the body intelligence and the heart intelligence is happening through, for me, the first piece of healing that I really tuned in was dancing, like moving my body, self-expression through not the voice, but purely music and dance. And hence I've created Spiral Dance 7-Step to Expand Your Consciousness. And in the movement, you connect with your sensuality, you connect with your body, and that really opens the doors to tune into your intuition as well. And same with the voice. When you sing, when you sound, hum, hey, hey, you allow sound to, because emotions they come through us, and it takes only 90 seconds to process an emotion. We often suppress our emotions. So allowing the voice to just go, bleh, I'm angry, like bleh, a dragon, letting it out, or to letting sound out, letting it out of your body, of your nervous system, expressing it out. It creates space to receive guidance, intuition. So I found, another really powerful tool is to put a bit of music and sound and move your body, shake it out. And so, if you feel too contracted in your head, and if you feel that you're disconnected and you need to tune into the wisdom and the inner peace and the quietness, because intuition is subtle, it's quiet, it's not loud. Move and sound. You know what I mean? I've got my crystal ball. I go hum, hey, and I play with them, and it just brings me back to the here and now, the flow, and then I get dropped in. I receive information. Okay, let's go this direction.
It's so powerful, Anik. I think what it comes down to, it's like, where do you feel most expansive?
Yes.
Where do you feel your whole being, your whole energy system open more? One of my mentors who teaches on feminine embodiment, her name's Jillian, and she talks about like the feminine, like our intuitive capacity is about dilating, like we dilate open wide to birth babies, to birth creative offerings, to birth new experiences into the world, but we can also dilate open wide our channel to receive more from the universe, more intuitive guidance. And that intuitive guidance in many cases is like the universal penetration, right? Yeah. And so for me, like if it's, out in nature, for example, you know, sitting by the ocean, walking in the forest, going to the bush, climbing the mountains, whatever it is for me. I know that it's being in nature in many cases that helps to expand my senses open. And I'll
Yeah.
share a little story. A few years ago, I was going through a big breakup, and I was walking in the bush on my own, and I stopped and I was admiring this tree. It was like this ancient, beautiful, huge tree. Excuse me. And I placed my hand on it. It's the only time this has ever happened in my life. It was so powerful. I placed my hand on this tree, and in that moment, it was like I put my hand there and suddenly I couldn't move it. It was like fully connected into the tree. And I was like overcome with this wave of intense energy. And so I closed my eyes, and suddenly I received and I heard clair audibly, the only time I've ever heard so clearly, this ancient guidance, you know, this download that was so relevant for me at the particular point in my life, that was so clear. And it was like this old grandfather voice, you know, that spoke in my right ear. It was so powerful. And I think at that moment, it was when I really was like, okay, I hear you. I literally hear you in my head. I hear you. I hear the guidance. It's like I stepped into a new level of trust that I was being supported. And even though I was going through a really hard time, I would come out the other end and I would learn really important lessons. But I know for you, Anik, like you live by the ocean, you are at the beach swimming all the time. Like we call you the whale whisperer. Do you want to share a little bit about that?
Oh, the story. Yeah, I can sure. Yeah, thank you for sharing that story, Tash. It's very powerful, right? The trees, I'm a tree lover. I mean, like you, I love nature as a little girl. My parents used to rent this little shack by the lake, and that was my happy place, you know, talking to the cows and swimming in the lake naked, and just, you know, really tuning into the environment, because your environment is super important. But back to the whales, yeah, I'm an ocean lover, I'm a water lover, and yeah, it comes down to really tuning into what you love, right? The intuition will talk. The more you do what you love, the more your heart is open, the more intuition will just like, yes, it will guide you, will tell you where to go. And so, yeah, one day I was dating this gorgeous black man. I'm a bit of a fan of black men.
Who's not?
I was dating this black man, and I wanted to impress him in my little ego, you know. I mean, I wanted to show off my gift, and I've always had a really big connection with, you know, dolphins and whales. I'm a fan. I love them. I had the privilege of swimming with them, and it's just amazing. So I said, hey, I can call whales in, you know. I said, do you want to come down to the water with me, and I'll call the whales in. I'm a whale whisperer, tongue twist. And so we went down, and it was like a mist and foggy. You couldn't see a centimeter in front of you. It was really kind of mystical that day. And we walked down, and there was not a soul there. And then my left brain kicked in and said, oh, Anik, what have you done? What if they don't come, the whales? And I started to, you know, the voice of doubt started to kick in. And oh my gosh, what if they don't come? You know, you'll be making a fool of yourself. And oh dear. So I said, listen, shut up. I tuned in. Shut up. Go for it. Go dancing in the bush. I don't need you in a critic right now. So I tuned in, and I did my work that the work that I teach. I tune in, call my ancient mama, go into my body, tune in, call the whales and say, hey, we're calling you, you know, we want to tune in with you. And probably a minute and a half, not too long, a couple of minutes, can be long sometimes, and, you know, can be short, but a minute and a half or two. And then 3 massive whales breached out their whole body. They brought their whole body out of the ocean right in front of us. And I was like pinching myself. I was blown away. And that was really a great sign for me, a good reminder of my superpower, of our superpower when we tune in, when we call in something, when we trust, when we ask. There's a sequence, to manifestation through intuition. There's a sequence. Like I teach that work. I mean, I'm super passionate about it. But it bloody works. And I was like, oh, receiving that grace. And he looked at me and like, you're a white witch, and you're a kick-ass manifester.
You're a badass.
You're a badass. You know what I mean? Watch out. Like, he's like, oh, I'm not going to muck around with you. You call away. I mean, there's things you can call easier than others,
Yeah.
We can, we all have wound around money wounds, so we're all working through that one in this lifetime together. But yeah, it's just fascinating. Like with nature, I had this real connection, and it came through, and it was beautiful and heart opening, these creators, they open your heart. So yeah, very, very powerful experience.
Yeah, it just goes to show that, when we are deeply connected with our bodies, with our hearts, with our environment, it's like very like in the 3D, like on the planet, in the body, connected to the body, and at the same time open and expansive, connected to the universal magic that is around us at every moment. I will often, with a lot of the work I do with my clients in the business strategy space, I combine a lot of like, let's connect in, let's open your channel and connect in with your intuitive guidance and learn how to create from that space.
Yes.
Like birth new offerings, create amazing messaging, connect in energetically with your future soulmate clients and ask them, what is it that you need me to say? What do you need to hear that's going to give you the courage to say yes to yourself and the resources to say yes to me? And when we bring in these beautiful little tools and beautiful little like experiences that we can cultivate on the daily basis, we can actually create a business, create a life, but in this case, create a business that is totally built and totally curated from this space of intuitively guided, right? That's why I think so often, when we try other people's strategies, it doesn't necessarily feel good because it's not in alignment with us. Yeah. At the end of the day, you are your greatest mentor. You have access to all of the answers that you have, to all of the questions that you have, right? Whether it's by tuning into your ancient mama, whether it's by, channeling and asking your support team, connecting into your ancestors, connecting into your star family representatives. Like there's so much wisdom available to you, like around you at every single moment, right? So powerful. And this is how we can create from the space of the overflow rather than like trying to extract. We'll talk more about this tomorrow in the creativity section, but rather than extracting it from our brain, it's like we receive the guidance and we trust ourselves enough, like we spoke about yesterday with self-leadership and trust yourself enough to take action on what you receive. Yeah. Anik, what do you feel about that?
Yeah, I'm really receiving all that sinking, it's sinking in your beautiful share. Like it's powerful. What the receiving piece is important, but what I noticed, a word that you mentioned quite a few times here is connecting. Like it's really about connection, you know what I mean? It's to be able to receive the guidance, to be able to have your channel open, your body open, your heart open, to really open as a vessel, as a channel, you physically, mentally, emotionally open up to receive rather than contracting and closing the door. It's about connection, it's really this relationship, the connection with self, with heart, with the universe, with the other. And for that, the practice is self, like back to the topic of yesterday, self-leadership. So it's self-connection with self. It's always back to self before anything else. And unfortunately, Tash, as you know, and beautiful ladies watching here, we haven't been conditioned, especially us women, to put ourselves first, to go first, to be Joan of Arc and go and lead first. And, and our intuition, I remember my mother denying my own intuition day in, day out, squashing my intuition, my superpower, that I was telling myself story, like gaslighting. And oh my God, like, am I passionate about teaching that now? Yeah, hell yes. You know what I mean? Because it's the empowerment, the connection to self, the intuition is super powerful. Well, there's so much I want to talk about. I get a bit overwhelmed by it all. I just get a bit too excited sometimes.
It is a superpower.
It's a superpower.
And everyone has access to this, like,
yeah.
I think, like, we often will be like, because for a long time, I didn't think I was particularly intuitive or particularly psychic was the word that I was like, I'm not a psychic. I don't have those abilities. And then one day I saw, one of my old mentors was like offering this training, like activate your psychic gifts. And I was like, I want to do it, but I don't know. I don't want to get disappointed. And I said, yes, I jumped in and I learned that every single one of us, we are born intuitive. Yeah. We're born psychic. We're born wide open. Like, have a look at my children come to mind, highly connected, highly present, highly intuitive. They are in their bodies. Like, you're not, I don't know if you're as much in your body as you are when you're a toddler. Like, you're in your body, you're in the present moment. And it's also the stage of life where the second chakra is really developing, which is our seat of creativity as well. It's the place that we receive from. So often coming into my womb space, whether it's simply putting a hand on my belly and a hand on my heart and closing my eyes and taking a few breaths, that is often enough to drop me in and to open me up, having little triggers like this that we kind of wire into our psyche, into our subconscious. And it's really for no one else's benefit but our own. Like, you don't need to have little rituals, but I find it really helpful for me. I know that when I sit and close my eyes and put my hands in these places, I'm tuning into my body's wisdom, which means I'm opening and connecting in to my intuition.
It's funny you say that, because every time I do my meditation with clients, that's where we go.
Yeah. I think it's a very natural place to.
Well, it's connecting to self, simple as that. We bring it back in. What comes from the heart is simple. What comes from the heart is simple. I repeat that again. What comes from the heart is simple. The mind makes it so complicated, but the heart is simple.
I love that.
And I would love to invite you ladies now, if that's okay, Tash. I think it's time for us to invite you to have the opportunity to win a prize.
Yay!
Because these 3 days of activation that Tash and I are offering, yesterday was the day 1 on self-leadership. Today is about tuning into your intuition, and tomorrow will be about you developing and tapping into your own creativity. So in the Creatrix Vortex that we're creating here together with you, we're calling in our community here, beautiful, soulful women in business, intuitive, sensitive, creative, sensual, and wanting to create changes in the world. And again, start by knowing yourself and taking care of yourself so that your voice can lend to the right people. So we're creating this movement, and we'd love to invite you to win a prize, either a beautiful business, a powerful and amazing session with Tash, a business alchemy strategy session, valued at $497. You don't want to miss that one. And you can also win a powerful voice tapping session, a modality that I've created to help you release what no longer serves and step into your creative juju and really magnetize what your heart's desire. So these are really powerful. They're valued at $300 Australian dollars. So I highly recommend that you jump in and win one of those.
And how can they win, Anik?
They can win by tagging your soul sisters in this group.
Yeah, inviting them in.
The women that you want to call in, that you believe that would really benefit, in contributing and receiving from this energy in the Creatrix Vortex, call them in, tag them in, like Erin did a really good job yesterday. Well done, Erin. And also by commenting under the hashtag replay and comment under our activations.
Yeah. Share with us your thoughts and your insights and your big ahas.
Yes.
Yeah, we want to engage with you. This is about us connecting with you guys, and we'd love to hear like everything that we're sharing. What's this activating? What's this opening up within you? There's something very powerful about actually, vocalizing, whether that's written or through the voice, vocalizing your insights, and it helps to really cement your awareness into your awareness. So that's the invitation.
Yeah, and we'll announce the winner. You can, we give you time to watch the replay. We understand that everyone's got busy lives. So hashtag replay, watch the replay, and share your voice, comment down below the videos, the activations, and we'll announce the winner, the winners. There'll be two, because we're the two of us. So 2022 is all about relationship this year. Partnership. So on Monday, we'll announce that on a video here. We'll meet you again here together with Tash and I, and we'll announce the lucky winners. Exciting.
Okay.
And we'll see you again tomorrow for the last day.
Yeah.
Don't miss out on the creativity topic. Really juicy.
So powerful.
Yeah, very powerful topic. So we can't wait to share that with you tomorrow, 10:30 a.m. AEST, New South Wales time in Australia. And
beautiful. Thanks for joining us today. Happy Wednesday. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you here same time tomorrow. Okay.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Thanks for watching. Thanks, Dad.